This is butyric acid. It's a short-chain fatty acid, simple in structure. You encounter it in things like Parmesan cheese, butter, and vomit. So why does the same molecule that can signify a delicious savory meal in one context trigger a universal, uncontrollable gag reflex in another? The answer isn't in the molecule itself, but in the ancient alarm system inside your brain. It's a system that values survival above all else, and it makes decisions long before your conscious mind gets a vote. The concentration and accompanying molecules create a scent profile, a chemical story that your brain reads instantly. That story begins with bacteria. Butyric acid is a common byproduct of anaerobic bacterial fermentation, the kind of decomposition that happens to spoiled food. For our distant ancestors, accurately identifying contaminated food was not a matter of preference, it was a matter of life and death. A piece of fruit or meat teeming with harmful microbes would also be teeming with their byproducts, including butyric acid. The individuals who had a strong innate aversion to this smell were more likely to avoid food poisoning, survive, and pass on their genes. What you experience as disgust is the echo of millions of years of successful survival choices. This reaction is remarkably consistent across cultures. While some societies might consider insects a delicacy and others find them repulsive, the smell of vomit is almost universally reviled. This suggests the trigger is not learned, but hardwired. When odor molecules enter your nose, the signal travels to the olfactory bulb. But instead of going straight to the logical, analytical parts of your brain, the threat signal for vomit takes a shortcut directly to your limbic system. This is the ancient emotional core of your brain, containing the amygdala, which processes fear and threat. It's a preemptive strike, initiating a physical response before you've even had time to consciously think, "That's a bad smell." The feeling of nausea isn't just in your head. It's a full-body experience orchestrated by a critical piece of neural hardware, the vagus nerve. Think of it as a massive fiber optic cable running from your brainstem all the way down to your abdomen, connecting to your heart, lungs, and gut. It's a two-way street for information. Critically, it connects directly to a part of the brainstem called the area postrema, your body's chemoreceptor trigger zone, or more simply, the vomiting center. This area is unique because it's not protected by the blood-brain barrier, allowing it to detect toxins directly in the bloodstream. The smell of butyric acid is such a strong indicator of potential toxins that the brain can preemptively activate this system via the vagus nerve, preparing your stomach to expel its contents just in case. But why do you feel sick just watching or hearing someone else vomit? The cause might lie with a fascinating class of brain cells called mirror neurons. These neurons fire both when you perform an action and when you observe another person performing that same action. When you watch a person run, your mirror neurons associated with running fire as if you were running yourself, creating a form of internal simulation. The same thing happens with disgust. Seeing the specific facial contortions, the body posture, and hearing the sounds of someone being sick activates the same neural pathways in your own brain. Your brain simulates the experience so vividly that it can actually trigger the physical response in you. This neural mirroring isn't a glitch. It's a powerful social survival mechanism. In a small prehistoric group sharing a food source, one person getting sick is a critical warning for everyone else. The sight and smell of that person's illness becomes a contagious, non-verbal alarm. Stop eating what I ate. The water might be tainted. The immediate shared disgust response would cause the entire group to avoid the potential poison. It's a biological broadcast system that protects the community. The swift and violent rejection of the potential toxin by one member saves the many. Your gag reflex is, in a way, a selfless act, programmed by evolution for the good of the tribe. It's a primal, instant form of communication, more effective than any spoken word. Which brings us back to the Parmesan cheese. Why can you enjoy it? Because your brain is not a simple chemical detector. It's an incredibly sophisticated context machine. When you smell Parmesan, the butyric acid is present, but in a lower concentration. And crucially, it's accompanied by dozens of other aromatic compounds, like esters and lactones, that your brain has associated with safe, nutritious, fermented foods. Your eyes see cheese. Your memory recalls positive experiences with cheese. And this wealth of contextual data overrides the butyric acid alarm. The brain weighs all the evidence and concludes safe. The smell of vomit, however, is an overwhelming blast of butyric acid and other decay compounds with no redeeming context. The verdict is instantaneous and absolute. Danger. Eject immediately.
Monotony has grown fast. Nearly 2,700 people have watched in the last few weeks, yet less than 0.03% are subscribed. It would mean a lot if you joined by hitting subscribe. And again, thanks for watching.